All right, you guys, welcome back to the Outdoor RX YouTube channel. So first things first today, I want to clear some air. So I did talk to JT Tompkins and Scott Martin, and JT told me that he did not go out with any locals on Cherokee Lake in 2022. And I had a long conversation with Scott Martin yesterday morning, and he told me that he did not pay for information or to go out with a local guide on Lay Lake in 2020, and he also told me that he's never paid for information throughout his career. So now, that being said, I want to thank y'all so much for all of the feedback that you've given me over the last couple of videos. It not only means a lot to me because I really enjoy reading your stories and interacting with you guys and getting your opinion. I had no idea that there were this many people that cared about what's going on in the fishing industry right now. And I just really want to get this point across to you guys that these conversations that we're talking about, they're going all the way to the top. People are listening, they're watching, and the more we interact and the more questions that are brought up and the more that we discuss them, the greater the chance of us seeing some change, some real change in the near future. So I really encourage y'all to comment down below, and I'll do my best to respond to all of your comments. And I really appreciate it. So most of the conversations were about forward-facing sonar, and I could sit here all day long and tell you all the negative things about it and all the positive things about it, because there are some positive things about it, yes. Especially if you're a recreational fisherman. Great, cool. There's good stuff and bad stuff about everything, and I don't want to sit here and just ramble on why it's so bad for the sport. And I don't want to take away from people that have had success in recent times using it. That's not the point. The point is that it needs to be regulated. There needs to be rules around it and make it fair for everybody. That's just the way it needs to be, in my opinion. So that all being said, you guys, I'm not going to talk about forward-facing sonar for at least a few more videos unless I get a wild hair. I want to dive into a positive story, and this goes back to one of Ray Scott's founding pillars, which is bringing the bass fishing community together as a whole from all walks of life, all over the country. And this story is one that brings two people together from opposite sides of the planet. So let's go back to 2018 at my first tournament on Logan Martin Lake. I jumped in as a co-angler. It was the last tournament of the year, and after that tournament, I was hooked. So I decided that November I was going to sign up for all 8 of the opens the following year in 2019. So that's exactly what I did, and me being me, just jumping in head first, I didn't know anyone in the industry. I didn't know anyone fishing the tournaments. So I went to Instagram, and me and this guy, Dean Sylvester, both followed each other, and I reached out to him. I forgot how it all went down, but he wanted to fish the Bassmaster Eastern Opens, and I had already signed up. So we were talking about it, and eventually he got through. He got accepted into the Eastern Opens, and later on that year, and I think it was like late December maybe, he had finalized everything, and he's like, all right, well, I'm flying to Orlando International Airport on this date. And I'm like, okay. And mind you, I've got like a 2002 old Chevy Suburban. I am not really sure if he's going to even show up. I've never met the guy in my life, but I drive down to Orlando and I go to the airport. So if you've ever been there, I'm just driving in the circle, waiting to see who I think he is. Finally, I see him. He's like 7 feet tall, and I'm like, okay, so here we go. So I pick him up. It's a little awkward at first, but we start talking about fishing, and we hit it off from there. This is where the story gets good. So we had my old Suburban. I have a guy from Australia that I don't know, and we have to go borrow a boat from someone because I don't have a boat and he couldn't bring one from Australia. So we go to this gentleman's house, and he's like, all right, you guys can use my boat for the week. Don't break it. 10-4. So we immediately left the airport, went to this guy's house that I didn't know. We hooked up his, I think it was we hooked up his nitro. I don't remember what model it was, but I know it was a nitro. And we go back to this place that Dean had booked, and let me just try to describe this as best I can. It was not a trailer. It was a 10 box with an awning on it. All right. So we, we get there, and I'm like, wow, this is nice, Dean. Good job. So we park the boat in the front of this 10 box. Dean can't stand up inside. He's all hunched over. I've got a fold out couch, and he's got a little fold out bed. We had a ball that week, but I want to. So we tried to develop like our little system of what I would do. You know, I would dump him in the water, and we had our little different jobs to just make everything go smoother on the boat ramp. And we were at Venetian Gardens on a Saturday. There was a club tournament, I guess, and guys, I didn't have any experience, right? My nickname was Jackknife. That's another story. But so we're sitting there, and I go out and I unhook the straps on the back of the boat. I'm like, all right, we're good. So I dump him in the water, and I've got the window up, and I see the boat drift off a little bit, and I'm like, all right. So I start pulling up the boat ramp, and I hear this horn going, rah, rah. I'm like, what in the hell is that? Well, I forgot one of the back straps was not unhooked. So it floated off and spun around, and I drug Dean and the boat back up the boat ramp in front of all these people. So that was a huge deal. And I got it on GoPro, believe it or not, and Dean deleted it off. Dean deleted it off of my computer. So that was just one of those stories that me and Dean will never forget. It was witnessed by a bunch of people down in Venetian Gardens. If anyone watches this video and saw that, that was me. You guys, this just shows you the power of bass fishing and fishing in general. It brings people together from all walks of life, and in this case, from different parts of the planet. Bassmaster did an article on this. It's called When Worlds Collide. I'll put a little clip of that up here at the top for you guys. So I hope y'all enjoyed that story. If you want to hear some more stories about me and Dean, I've got plenty of them for you guys. I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure to drop a comment down below. Like, subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one.